There's only one thing more frustrating and more disheartening than watching your child struggle with chronic health issues or going through chronic health issues yourself. And that is the feeling that you've tried everything to address them. You've exhausted conventional medicine and you've exhausted holistic natural medicine as well, and tried every diet change and every detox and everything under the sun to get healing to happen. And you're not there yet. Your child or your own health is still a struggle every single day. With this video, we are going to unlock the real reason why your child, or maybe you, are not healing from chronic disease. It's something that people are starting to talk about: nervous system dysregulation, a dysfunction, or what's called subluxation. I know, new word, but a new word you need to know all about. Those things, throwing the nervous system way off track and creating that dysfunction and that dysregulation, is the number one, almost kind of hidden in plain sight reason that so many kids and so many people are not healing. When the nervous system is stressed out and out of balance in this way, the gut is shut down. The immune system is dysregulated and pro-inflammatory. Our endocrine or hormonal system is thrown absolutely haywire, and our cognitive, our emotional, and our social or even behavioral components of our brain function are thrown sideways as well. The list goes on and the list goes long as to what kind of chronic health issues can be associated with nervous system dysregulation, what's called dysautonomia, and this new term will introduce subluxation, which triggers all of that stress within the nervous system. Parents, but perhaps for yourself, you need to really watch this video all the way through, because we're going to give you that answer you've been up late at night searching for, which says, man, we've literally tried it freaking all. Biomedical, functional, integrative, detoxes, IVIG, primitive reflex therapies, primrose oil, freaking supplements, vitamins, homeopathics, herbs, hyperbaric oxygen chambers, you name it, you've tried it, and maybe you or your child are still struggling. That is the exact same story or kind of situation, if you will, that nearly every single one of our patients comes in with today. Now, when I first got into practice, it was the same thing, but different. 15 years ago, everybody had already exhausted conventional medication. There you go. I meant to say what I meant to say. Conventional medicine, which immediately goes to medication. They blame genetics, bad luck, and say, here's this medication, that medication, or a combination of medications. When I first got into practice, 80% of my patients, including kids, were already heavily medicated, not seeing results, not wanting any more side effects, and wanting to address the root cause. But back then, nobody really knew anything about biomedical, functional nutrition, and these things. There wasn't that many of my patients 15 years ago who were gluten-free, casein-free, red dye number 40-free, taking supplements and working on, say, the gut, brain, and the microbiome. Now, 80 to 90% of our patients have awesomely exhausted that whole natural health world as well. And they're so much better for it. And almost every single time when we dig deep into those case histories with those patients who have gone deep down that road, some healing has happened. And that is to be celebrated. You have done an incredible job, moms and dads, working on these avenues for your child or for your own health. But if you're watching this video, if you're online still looking for answers, that means there must be something missing. There has to be that real reason why your child is not fully and completely healing, or maybe you're not, from your chronic condition. And that's nervous system dysregulation. That's dysautonomia and subluxation, or what's called stuck tension within the central nervous system. That was exactly the case for Courtney. Courtney started to struggle with migraines as far back as 11 years old. And from there, her chronic health issues just went in many different directions and took many different forms and got many different diagnoses, which is what we see all the time. There was stomach and digestive issues. There was panic attacks and anxiety. Eventually, it led to a Lyme disease diagnosis. And here she lists out, I've done diet changes, hormone replacement therapy, preventative medicine, IV therapy, different kinds of chiropractic care, supplements, and so much more. And we'll break down that different kinds of chiropractic care, because that may be you as well. When I give you this video and you go, well, I'm listening to a chiropractor talking about all these things, natural health. We've already tried that too. So what more do you have to teach me? This is the video that I'll go deeper into this nervous system focused conversation and the difference between a nervous system focused chiropractor and maybe a standard conventional spinal chiropractor as well. And when you see these granular details and when we very intentionally split these hairs with this video, you'll find that answer. You'll find that key to get your child's healing, or maybe your healing, in action again, because that's what happened for Courtney. No chiropractor, no doctor of any kind before had really deeply assessed her nervous system and run what we call our neurological insight scans, thermal, EMG, and HRV. I'll show you one here before we get done. And when we ran those scans for Courtney's nervous system, there it was the whole time. Now, stress, dysfunction, and dysregulation, can it take pain-based path? Yes. Can it mess with the digestion, the immune system, inflammation, the hormones, anxiety, emotions? Yes, it can, absolutely. And that's why it's so tricky to find, because nervous system dysregulation and this thing called subluxation, it can take so many different forms that conventional medicine cannot find it. Because not only do they not do actual neurological and functional testing, not only do they not look for the root cause really anywhere, but even if they just tried to stumble down that road, they have no testing for nervous system function and regulation. You cannot find nervous system dysregulation on blood work. You can't find it on stool samples. You can't find it on any medical exam of any kind, conventional or biomedical. The only place you can find this real deep foundational root cause layer of stress on the nervous system is through these neurological insight scans. Now, real quick, I'll give you a little bit of a hint, a little bit of a cheat code, if you will, before you even get to a pxdoc or nervous system focused office to get these scans, which is absolutely the direction I'm going to send you in at the end of this video. Let me give you a few more clues, or I'd almost call it a few more reasons to absolutely, positively, no matter what, get these scans on your child or yourself, because what we call the perfect storm case history. So these clues within off-track neurophysiological function are dead giveaways for nervous system dysregulation, dysautonomia, and subluxation. And again, these aren't even the kind of questions that a conventional doctor or conventional practitioner is going to ask. So it's a different approach that is honestly hidden in plain sight, as I say it all the time. None of this is complicated. When you get done with this video, watch it one more time just to see how simple it actually is, how straightforward it really is to say our nervous system is the boss. Our nervous system controls everything, the brain, the brainstem, little thing called the vagus nerve, different video for a different day, because it really regulates, it's in charge of regulation of the nervous system. But the nervous system controls it all. Stomach, muscles, digestion, immune function, endocrine function, cognitive function, you name it. When the nervous system goes sideways, so can everything else. But nobody knows that if they're not looking for that, if they're not examining for that, and if their care doesn't address that dead on directly. And so nervous system dysfunction is found through what's called the insight scans, but you can find it through these clues first. You can find it if you or your child struggles to fall asleep and stay asleep. You can find nervous system dysfunction with chronic digestive or gut issues that have not been resolved by addressing diet changes, anti-inflammatory diets, taking supplements, vitamins, and so forth. You can find it if your child is chronically sick, chronically inflamed, congested, skin issues. Their immune system is suppressed and weakened despite doing all sorts of things to strengthen and support it. And you can find it if their gross motor or fine motor system is way off track, or if they're clumsy, they're wound up, they're full of tension, stimming, clenching, walking on their toes, and maybe struggling with a weak core. And no matter how much PT, OT, and speech you do, you can't get that gross motor and fine motor system back on track. And you can also find it if the social, emotional, behavioral system is thrown off track. And no matter how much reward, how much discipline, how much counseling, how much brain-based therapy you try to get that stuff back online, it still doesn't. So that's the 5 main bodily physiological functions that go haywire: sleep, digestion, immune function, muscle or movement, and then social, emotional, behavioral. Those 5 together, if they are sideways, despite doing all sorts of things individually to address them, and you haven't seen changes yet, that right there should reveal to you that nervous system dysregulation and subluxation is very likely the hidden trigger and the number one reason why your child is not healing. So let me close this video by showing you a sample of a scan. This is actually Courtney's initial scan. So struggling with migraines and stomach issues and anxiety and all the neuroimmunological challenges that goes with Lyme's and chronic issues. This is Courtney's original thermal scan, and it's really simple. More red equals more stress, more tension, more neurological dysregulation and dysfunction. And then specifically, when we see it in the upper cervical or brainstem area, that is the area of the vagus nerve, which is the number one rest, digest, and regulation nerve in the body. We now know that the vagus nerve is more connected to these core organ systems and physiological functions. And so when this is subluxated, which is what this scan is showing us, and it throws the vagus nerve off track, it allows the sympathetic fight or flight system to run rampant. And when we have too much gas pedal, too much sympathetic fight or flight, and too little regulation, too little relaxation, that's when chronic disease sets in. This right here is her mid-GI or gastric system. So that is full of tension and subluxation. So no matter how many diet changes, detoxes, probiotics, and so forth she tried, that was still chronic stomach and digestive issues, which she had since a kid. And then down here is the kind of transition to small to large intestine. So there's more GI function down here because the gut and the neuro gut, if you will, is quite the system. But this is also adrenals. So this is where a lot of that anxiety and that tension, and then eventually for Courtney in so many cases, that led to chronic exhaustion. So that is the science, and that is the story. That is, how do I want to say this? That is the science that explains the story for millions of families today. I've done it all for myself or for my child, and I still can't heal. I've spent thousands, maybe tens of thousands. Some families have reported to us they've spent hundreds of thousands on biomedical interventions and all sorts of different therapies to try and get their child or themselves to heal from chronic issues like Lyme's, like PANDAS, like POTS, like seizures, like autism, the list goes on. That is our specialty. If you feel like this video was speaking to you from the beginning to the middle to here at the end, you need to find out if you or your child has this nervous system dysregulation, subluxation, and dysautonomia. That's just one of the 3 scans we run with these neurological insight scans, and they will absolutely change your life when you can see, like Courtney, there it is. That's what's causing it. As I hit my mic, because I get so excited about the potential of you sitting across from us, if you're local to us and you're watching this video on PwC Chiropractic's page, or if you're watching it on our pxdocs platform, we have trained and ready nervous system focused chiropractors who specialize in this exact work, finding the thing that everybody else misses. And we run these scans, and from these scans, we can build you or your child a very personalized, customized care plan. Getting chronic health better isn't a treatment. Through getting chronic health challenges better through this kind of chiropractic is not a treatment, and it is not a cure. You and your child have everything you need inside to heal. You just need to get stress, dysfunction, and dysregulation of the nervous system out of the way. And guess what happens when kids and people struggling with chronic health issues start to get adjusted? In the beginning weeks and the beginning months, they start to sleep better. Their body physically moves and functions better. Their digestion is vastly improved. Their motility, their absorption, their elimination, their immune system, their sinuses, their respiratory, their oxygenation gets better. And just like we talked about in this video, when nervous system dysregulation sets in and all the 4 or 5 main functions of the body go offline, you add all that up, that's chronic disease. When we start to make these neurotonal, neurologically focused adjustments, which are safe and gentle and effective and only take a matter of a few minutes, healing happens over then weeks to months, because when sleep, when digestion, when immune function, when endocrine function and physical function gets back online, so does the brain. So does emotional regulation, so does behavioral regulation, so does cognition, focus, and concentration. Everything gets better when the nervous system gets better, same as everything gets offline eventually when the nervous system gets dysregulated and dysfunction. I could talk about this for days on end, but I know this video found so many of you and got that message straight to the heart and straight to the soul, if you will, because I'm blessed to see so many of you in practice every single day where you share this story with me. So it was our job to create this video to share this story and this science and these scans and this kind of care with you. And I ask two things. Get connected to a nervous system focused chiropractor. Get your child to get yourself into an office to get these scans, along with a deep dive consultation and a personalized care plan. If you're local to us, hit the link that comes with this video. If not, hit the link anyways, because it'll take you to our directory and it'll take you to a nervous system focused chiropractor local to you. You can fill out the form and book a consultation and scan appointment right there on our pxdocs website. And if this video has you intrigued, has you thinking, has you going, dang, that sounds like me, and you need more information, do not worry. We have articles about each of the terms I introduced today, tons of the research linked to all the articles. Just comment below. Hey, send me more information, comment, learn more, comment, help, send us a DM. Whatever you need, comment, DM, and we'll send it to you. And finally, my final request in this video, which always goes longer than I intended to be, will you please share this? You know how many other parents and how many other patients have this same story. And when we evaluate and run the scans on their nervous systems, we will find the same reason as to why they're not healing. So please, whatever you need, comment below, send a DM, hit the link to get scheduled. And if you'd give us this, and if you could also just share this video as well, you doing that might help save and transform one more child, one more person's life. So we ask that you share this as well. God bless. Be well. See you on the next one.